we're all going to say, ha ha, the Pistons have arrived. But then they're going to lose like 10 games in a row, something ridiculous like that.
There's nobody available in the next two free agency classes that's going to either A, take you over the top, or B, make you a contender. You're not going to become contenders for half a decade. Yeah, that's the reality. Terry?
Yes, sir.
The Detroit Pistons go out in free agency. They make a move, sign Kevin Knox to a 2-year deal, along with re-signing Marvin Bagley on a 3-year, $37 million contract. First, Bagley, that's a deal. To get him at, what, $12.3 million annually, that's a steal for his contribution. A guy that's getting you, what, 12 and 7 a night. Mo Bamba just got $21 million, averaging, what, 5 and 3. So, a good deal. Well done. Kevin Knox is 23, 24, I believe. Come on. This is such a young team. And I was talking to a good friend of mine who's really close with the team last night. And he told me...
insider. Go ahead and brag.
And he told me that Troy is making sure that this team is not good this year.
It's not what?
That this team is not good this year.
Okay.
And that they are back in the lottery because, quote, this upcoming draft is loaded with talent. And they all see it. And my question is, again, Terry, you know me. I'm on the 5-year.
Right.
I don't want to hear it for 4 to 5 years. You're going to go in the top 3, top 5 again next year. I mean, I don't know of a team that's built with 4 20-year-olds starting and taking over the league.
Bro, they might be on the 6 or 7-year program.
I don't like it right now. We'll see how the team develops, but I don't want to be picking top 3, top 5 next year. I want to be projected to get the number 14, 13, 11 pick, and then somehow get the number 1 overall pick. I'm game for that. But I don't plan on losing 60 games, 59 games, 58 games again. I don't think that's progress. And look, free agency isn't getting any better next year, guys. And Devin Booker just re-signed and signed. And Nikola Jokic just got the Supermax, by the way. He's become the highest paid player in NBA history. So, perspective a little bit. There is nothing in next year's free agency class or 2024 that is going to take you over the top. You are relying on Saddiq Bey. You are relying on Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, all these young kids that you have Killian Hayes to develop and grow. That's a 5-year program, dude. That's not 3 years. Program. That's going through elementary school, then middle school, and high school.
And you know what happens along the way? There's a period where we're all going to say, ha ha, the Pistons have arrived. But then there's going to be some backtracking where we thought they arrived, but then they're going to lose like 10 games in a row, something ridiculous like that. And we're going to bitch about them again and say that they're not as far along as we thought they were. So I was not a proponent of your 5-year plan. I am now because, Troy Weaver is going to go through the draft and not. And here's the other thing, ladies and gentlemen. We assume the Pistons can get quality free agents. But no, that's a huge assumption. For the most part, they can't. And, yes, they're not going to get LeBron James. Yes, they're not going to get Anthony Davis. They may not even get the second-tier free agents. So I think Weaver, and he'll never say this, but I think Weaver understands the situation. He understands they can't get high-profile free agents. And so he's going draft, and mid-level to lower free agents to fill out the roster. That is a 5 or 6 year program.
It is 5 or 6 years, and something to consider, Terry, that I think is super important is he's keeping it young, not just because they don't want to be competitive or good this year. You have young players that just need to get experience. Jaden Ivey's a rookie. Duren's a rookie. Cade in year 2. Killian in year 3. Saddiq in year 3. Isaiah Stewart in year 3. It's a young team. Marvin Bagley, he's still 23 years old. He was a lottery pick not too long ago. So, team's in a good spot, I think. It's early, but I'm just saying, for anybody that says this team is going to build young and then they're going to solve it in free agency in a year or 2 years, I have news for you. You're wrong. Free agency is not going to help you.
Yeah, you still could do that, but it looks like he's choosing not to.
I don't think he can. There's nobody available in the next 2 free agency classes that's going to either A, take you over the top, or B, make you a contender. There are no players that do that. Now, are there veterans? You can go after a 33, 32-year-old player that'll give you good minutes, good experience. But it doesn't matter because you still have a bunch of 20, 21-year-olds running on the court.
That's
and
right.
At the end of the day, until they're 24, 25, you're not going to be contending in the Eastern Conference.
All right. You're looking too short-sighted. No. There's not going to be anybody that's going to make you a contender right away, but you have to look toward the future. The reason you want a DeAndre Ayton or Miles Bridges isn't because you're going to win a title next year, but you want them because you feel that those 21-year-olds are going to be 24 in 3 years. 22 years, guys are going to be 25 years old. So you're thinking if you play it right, maybe you could be a contender in 3 years if you get some free agents. But Troy Weaver his mindset is different than that.
Looking ahead to other notable signings, Portis has been picked up. That's done. So you look at this free agency class this summer, I think this is it. After Kevin Knox, I'm not sure who's available that makes sense. And please, if you have any suggestions, be my guest in the chat. I don't see any. I don't see any that's going to improve this team massively. So, all right, we're looking at 28 to 32, maybe max out at 33 wins. You're still going to lose 49, 50 games. That's not changing. You're going to be in the lottery.
You'll be in the lottery, but will you be competing for those top 4 or 5 players, or will you just be in the lottery? That's going to be the question.
I think they're just going to be in the lottery unless a ball falls the right way for them.
So they'll win too many games.
I think they're going to win too many games. And too many in the lottery for this upcoming season because there are going to be a lot of teams tanking this year. I'm looking at 28 to 34 wins is likely pick number 9, 10, 11 projected. So we'll have to wait and see. At the end of the day, what is Kemba's buyout number? I want to say it was $9 million.
It was 9. I guess they worked that out.
Yeah, I believe it was $9 million, and that's a done deal. Saying it's going to take 5 to 6 years means you don't believe in the potential of Cade, Ivy, Bay, and even Hayes. Year 2, Cade alone is an automatic 27 games. Shad, I like you, dude. You're here every morning. You're an idiot. Let me tell you something, buddy. If LeBron James missed the playoffs his first 2 years, Cade Cunningham's missing the playoffs his first 2 years with this roster. Secondly, you are not the Boston Celtics. So you didn't draft Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart alongside a bunch of quality veterans where you were winning 48, 52 games a year. You are actually more so like the Golden State Warriors, who missed the playoffs their first 4 seasons after drafting Steph Curry. And then they got to the first round, and then the conference semis, and then they got knocked out in the first round, and then Steve Kerr came and they were champions. You know how many years that is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8! 8 years.
And let me throw this in. Did you believe in Steph Curry? Yes. It took him 8 years. Did you believe in Isaiah Thomas? Yes. And you know what? Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. Did you believe in them at the time? Probably yes. But it took them that same time.
7 years for the bad boy Pistons. 8 to actually win the championship.
1 game away from being broken up. 1 game away from saying, you know what? Couldn't pull it off. We'll try again.
Like, again, you guys, you're not going to become contenders for half a decade. Yeah, that's the reality. Can you be a 40-win team? Not this season, but maybe next season? Okay, year 3 Cade. Jaden Ivey has a year under his belt. Sadiq Bey going into year 4. Okay, I could buy 38 to 42 wins in year 3 of Cade Cunningham. Does that make you contenders? Does it make you contenders? Answer honestly.
No, you know what that is? That's a team that gets its butt smacked in the first round of the playoffs. That's a team that loses in 5 games or gets swept in the first round because they got to play Milwaukee or Boston or somebody like that. That's what that is. That's not contending.
Again, there's a difference between being the playing team and then being a top 3, top 4 seeded team that people actually take seriously. You will not be that for half a decade. What's the problem?
Right.
That doesn't mean you're not going to make the playoffs for the next 5 years. It just means you're not going to be a contender. Is that so hard to understand? Should I speak a little more slowly for you?
No. You must. Here, let me teach you a lesson here, young fella, because I know you get frustrated. All right. What is fan short for?
Idiot.
Close. Fanatical. See, fans realize every team in Detroit's in a rebuild. They realize that. But you know what? Most fans think that all 4 teams are going to end up with hanging a championship banner when this is done. We know that's not going to happen. But the fan is like, okay, well, the Lions are going to win it, or at least go to the Super Bowl. Tigers will win a World Series. Pistons and Wings will win the Stanley Cup and the Larry O'Brien. So when you talk about Cade Cunningham being already here and he's not going to contend for 6 or 7 years, the fan is saying, no, wait a minute. Cade is a bad man. Cade's going to do better than that. Cade's going to whip this team into shape, contend in 2 or 3 years. Now, if you want to call him an idiot, go right ahead. But fanatical is close to idiot being an idiot. But it's just a nicer way of calling them that.
That's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, again, you will improve from last year to this year. And then you'll improve again next year. And the next year after that, you will take progressional steps. You'll likely be in the playoffs year 3 as a play-in. You'll be fighting for that spot. Year 4 of Cade Cunningham, I'd expect you'd be a 6, 7 seed, depending on what the roster looks like. But what it looks like is there's no help coming anytime soon. And I'm not talking just, a nice piece here and a nice piece there. Veteran players, they do their job. They play 12, 18 minutes. You're not getting a star player. That's done. We're over this conversation.